Dr. Dom and mention Art of Scrap to get $50 off your new patient exam. And now introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, a jiu-jitsu fighter. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall and officially weighed in 161.5 pounds. Coming in tonight with a record of 4 victories with 2 defeats and fighting out of North Las Vegas, Nevada, Miguel Pretty Flaco Villarreal. And across the cage, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall and officially weighed in 155 pounds. Coming in tonight with a record of 5 victories with 2 defeats and fighting out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, David the Daredevil Carroll. And your referee in charge is Rob Madrigal.
Carroll ready to fight for a belt for the first time in his career. He says it's his most important fight yet. Similarly now, for Villarreal, who has Mexican heritage, it's always been a dream for him to fight Mexican Independence Day weekend. He's got that chance here.
I will say in the pre-fight, David looks very locked in and very focused, and Miguel was kind of walking around and talking. I'm not sure if he's taking it as serious as David, but right off the rip, I mean, David closes that distance and tries to get a hold of him.
What do you think Miguel was saying there?
I think he
was a quick break in the action. He said he accidentally hit him low.
Oh, okay. This is exactly what David did to me. He tried to get me on the cage and keep it close, which he's doing a good job so far.
Yeah, talking with David, he said ideally he wanted to keep it standing because, again, Miguel is a black belt.
Miguel was very long. He throws a lot of left high kicks. His last fight at Art of Scrap, that's how he got his finish. He dropped, I think it was Jesus with a head kick.
Yeah.
And then got his back and ended up choking him. So, I would like to think that's his game plan. And David's doing a good job of keeping him pinched against the cage.
David's doing a really good job here with his forehead pressure, keeping the action against the cage right here, not allowing too many movements to compromise the situation here.
And Miguel's grabbing that, trying to control a risk, get one control and get his back off the cage. And David must have some hard pressure here because he has a hold. I would like to think I could just turn off of it, but I'm not in there.
Miguel with these nice little pop shots here in the clinch has maybe opened up a cut above David's right eye here.
David gets a jab in more than halfway through this first round. And again, it was David who wound up taking the fight on fairly short notice of only a couple of weeks due to Gavin's injury.
Yeah, I'm glad they found a replacement. I would have felt really bad for Mike and Art of Scrap to have to scratch that kind of fight. I was really excited for Miguel.
And Miguel in the last year or so has already had 4 or 5 fights in which he couldn't go because the opponent had to bow out. Then at one point he had an injury himself. So yeah, it's not so easy just to get in there.
It's a tough sport, man. Getting through the training camp is the hardest part to everybody, man. Fighting, getting in the cage is the easiest part.
Definitely.
Getting through camp is hard, man, especially if you're trying to get better. David seems to be working the takedown. Miguel doing a good job of getting underhooks and creating that space.
Miguel doing a real good job here of creating what he needs to create here with those double underhooks here.
Yeah, he's not letting David really get control of his hips or his legs. He's doing a very great job.
With just about 10 seconds remaining here in the first round.
Very calm first round. I would say if I had to give it just because of control, I think David did a good job of keeping that that position. I think Miguel must in the next round come out and keep that space.
Yeah.
There's the horn for the first round. No, I asked for Miguel what the psychological factor is after he was disappointed that he didn't make weight. Then on the flip side, how about if you're David, you're going up against a guy who weighed in more than 6 pounds more than you?
Yeah, the way I look at it, I've always had this outlook on the weight cut. I mean, if I make weight and you don't, it bothers me because I did make the cut, I did the job I was supposed to, but at the end of the day, we're getting in the cage, and I'm going to do my job and go in there and try to get you out as fast as I can. And the weight cut to me, if you don't make it, it is what it is. But yeah. I'm here to fight, and I love doing it.
So if you're in that corner there with Carroll, what are you telling him?
Same thing. Keep the same game plan you're doing. Keep him against the cage. You don't want those long legs coming at you because he will throw a lot of high kicks. I've been game planning for Miguel for the last 8 weeks, and I knew head kicks and his 2 is really sneaky. So if I'm Mike in the corner, I'm telling David, keep pushing him against the cage. Let's get him down on the floor.
Yeah.
Again, David, really a tremendous story. Give him a lot of respect and appreciation for his openness and sharing that. And he was out of fighting for 6 or so years. He was battling depression.
There's that left high kick, heavy head kick here. David has to get a hold of him and kind of regain that control. Being head kicked is a lot. It causes a lot of confusion in there, man. You lose control of your legs. Everything starts feeling fuzzy. So I'm not sure the extent of the damage, but the head kick is clean.
Scrambling now.
Both in an over-under position. Miguel throwing a lot of knees. Like David is trying to get a high crotch. Maybe trying to get Miguel down. From here, if I'm David, I'm going to step like that. I'm going to step in and try to lift Miguel. You have a lot of control there.
Great job on David's part, staying composed in that moment when he got hit with the head kick. You seen he was on skates there for a little bit, but he was able to clear the cobwebs and get himself close and create the clincher that we're watching now.
Good takedown.
Carroll's on top.
In the guard here, you gotta be careful, man. The long legs of Miguel. He's gonna. If it's me on the ground, start trying to shove hands, then get a triangle armbar. Being that long is a big advantage down here in the grappling.
Villarreal getting some jabs in. Halfway through this second round and halfway through the fight.
He's doing a good job moving to the cage and trying to get him pressed up, but he let him get his back up, and that's how Miguel is going to get to his feet. You got to get the head caught in there and keep the pressure. You can't sit back. Then he starts walking his back up the wall.
Really great job on Miguel's part here, creating distance with that knee shield there, you know what I mean? Maybe try to sneak something in or create a little bit of space to where he can work with.
You can tell it's 2 savvy guys, been in there, had a few fights, and they're comfortable, and they know their game plan and they know their strengths.
There's a lot of great stuff happening here in these clinches, you know what I mean? These little micro adjustments and little micro movements that we're not catching every part of. There's a lot of great stuff going on here, you know what I mean? And this is a grueling situation. We talked about it earlier. When you're in these clinches like this, I mean, it is exhausting, right? You break free from it, your arms are heavy, you know what I mean? So it's really great to see these guys working here in these situations and keeping it extremely technical.
And Miguel doing a really good job of not letting things settle on the ground, man. He's doing a good job of immediately getting to the cage and working up. Like they say, cage is your friend in the grappling, man.
Yeah.
And this one will go to a third and final round. Again, the interim amateur lightweight title belt on the line for Carroll.
I'm interested to see what the third round game plan is going to be for Miguel. This isn't official, but in my mind, you're down 2-0. You've been controlled the last 2 rounds. You got to go out there and get a finish. You got to be aggressive, and we'll see if he goes out there and does that.
Yeah.
Again with Jordan Downey, also joined right now by Gavin Smith. I'm John Nolan. Thanks for joining us here. Art of Scrap 9. About midway through, this is the first of 3 fights tonight with a belt on the line. The next one will be Wakefield and Sykes.
See David in the corner, he's smiling. He seems to be having a great time. Neither one of the guys look tired. This could be an exciting third round.
Well, Carroll has had aspirations of getting to fight for a belt, and that moment is here now.
And here he is again, implementing the cage, getting a little bit good control of Miguel.
Well, it's one step at a time, right? But Carroll ideally wants to get a win here, and he wants to get you and go pro after that.
It'd be a good fight for him to get back, and I would love to get in there, because in my mind, I wish I could have finished him, so I wouldn't mind getting back in there and trying to get the job done again. But I mean, respect to both these guys. They are fighting hard, and this isn't an easy fight. I know people watch just grappling and cage work, but that stuff's tiring.
That's what I mentioned before. You know, you're not seeing a lot in these clinches. You know, it looks a little bit of a stalemate, but there's a lot of great stuff happening in there between the fighters that not everybody's catching. But this is a great technical match.
They're starting to swing now.
I think Miguel's starting to feel that pressure. He has to get something. So I think he's starting to realize that maybe I need to get a finish. You know, I'm not a fan of the booing, man. You're watching MMA. This isn't kickboxing.
Yeah.
You know, this is hard. This is harder than most things, man. The grappling is tiring. And there's so many levels to it, man.
Definitely.
David took him down, man. This is ideally what he needs to keep doing. This looks like, as long as it stays down here, David did the job.
Yeah.
He has to be careful with those long legs, man. You know, what are you looking for here when you're on bottom and you're Miguel and David's on top of you? What's kind of going through your head here?
I mean, if I was David, I would be looking to create distance, posture up, and let's land some big shots. You know what I mean? Let's try to create these opportunities where maybe we can pass the guard or just open up something to where we can progress and land big shots. You know.
You know, it looks like Miguel, he's going back and forth. He's like kind of body locking like a triangle, and he's maybe looking for a little flower sweep. Oh, he goes into the kind of toe hold. David doing a good job of staying out of trouble.
Both back up now. 45 seconds to go in the final round.
I feel like once he's on urgency from Miguel here, he has to get urgent. He can't let David get a hold of him again.
David looks like he's been searching for that high crotch here. I'm wondering to see if he's going to work with that or maybe try to create an opportunity to take him down again here.
Got to get his head out and be safe here. You got short time, David. You're doing a good job. Got to have some urgency here, Miguel.
Volume rising here at the Coliseum. Carroll falls but recovers. Closing seconds.
Hands up. Keep our hands up here, guys. Wow, good fight. But if I'm giving it to anybody, I think David wins 3 rounds to none.
Going to the judges, but Carroll right now can feel the moment in the Coliseum.
No, that's a tough, grueling fight, man. That's not an easy fight to get through.
Taking a look back here at some of the highlights. David fighting here tonight with his older brother. It's been a big influence on him in attendance. I know for Miguel, among his friends and family tuned in, his mom watching back in North Las Vegas. She wanted to come. He asked her not to. Didn't need any extra pressure here.
Yeah.
But again, family really important to him, and win or lose, it meant a lot for him to fight here this Mexican Independence Day weekend, and starting to see the smile from him again. He's got a great personality. Some frustration this weekend, but overall positive experience. Maybe you guys have to rematch.
I think we might have to. That's how I see it. I'm excited.
Again, a winner here will get Gavin Smith at AOS 10 in April.
If we get a hold it all the way.
Looks like Michael's got the card with the results.
Ladies and gentlemen, for 3 championship rounds, we go to the scorecards. And all 3 judges scoring this fight scored at 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision. And now, the interim lightweight champion out of the blue corner, David, the Daredevil Carroll.
is his opponent.
I'm here with our winner, new interim lightweight champion, David Carroll. David, tell me about this fight. How are you feeling?
Hey, Gavin.
Get your mouthpiece out.
I want to unify this belt. This is for the interim. I know you fought me when I had a pinched nerve and one arm. So now I want a rematch when I'm feeling good.
At AOS 10, Gavin Banks and David Carroll will unify this belt. Thank you, Gavin. Is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Everyone at the Fight Lab that's there, training, supporting, and believing in each other. It's the best place to be, blessed place to be in Fort Wayne.
Awesome. Let's hear it for our new interim champ, David Carroll.